Welcome to MWC 2025 here in Barcelona, and the tech world has ascended to check out some of the best and weirdest tech that there is to offer.
We've seen everything from smart cycling glasses to a bunch of camera phones. And when I say camera phones, I mean phones that actually become cameras, starting with the Realme interchangeable lens concept phone. So the way this works is on the back of the Realme phone, you have a standard bunch of lenses that you would see on pretty much any smartphone, but you can attach a mount to it and then attach M-series camera lens to that mount, making the phone become a literal mirrorless camera. Now, you are going to have to deal with the fact that there's no built-in telephoto lens because the CMOS sensor here is what actually makes the camera lens work. This is just a concept though, so it's not coming to retail, but if Realme sees enough positive response from the public for this, who knows, it could come out sometime soon.
Now, let's have a look at a pair of cycling glasses. And I know they don't sound cool on their own, but you add a little bit of AI into it and then you get these Bleequp Rangers. These glasses have a camera right in the middle and they let you record continuously for an hour or up to 5 hours with a battery pack that attaches to the helmet. Now, they also have a gyroscope as well that can recognize when you slow down to stop and look at scenery, and if you were to ever get in an accident, it knows that you might have been in a crash and it'll automatically start recording to its inbuilt 32 gig storage. The highlight of the glasses though is the AI. Now, once you pair it with the app, what it'll do is it'll take the video that you've recorded and create a highlights package for you without having to even edit it yourself. There are also speakers built into this, and let me tell you, these actually sound really good. And there's a couple of touch gestures on the side so you can stop and start the music and just turn up the volume and turn it down. Now, this is a Kickstarter project, so it might never come to market, but as a concept that I saw at the event, these worked really well.
Back in 2023, Google surprised the entire tech industry by announcing that the Pixel 8 series would see 7 years of Android updates and upgrades. Since then, we saw Samsung follow suit, but since then, that's all we've had. But now, Honor has joined the gang and now is offering 7 years of support for the Honor Magic 7 Pro, which came out back in January. This means we only have 3 Android manufacturers with this length of a software commitment. But hopefully, now that Honor has joined the gang, we'll see a lot of other Android smartphone manufacturers join the team as well. Honor has launched a new tablet here at MWC called the Honor Pad V9. Now, this looks a lot like an iPad, which might not be the best thing ever, but it actually does feel really premium in the hand due to its unibody aluminum construction. And it also has a relatively low price of 450 euros, which makes it a viable contender for your iPad alternative. I used the Honor Pad V9 for a number of days, and I tell you, it is actually really, really good. If you're in the market for a new tablet, I highly suggest checking this one out.
Up next is something from HMD, and they have partnered with Xplora to give you some really good parental control over your kid's phone. Now, how this works is that your child needs to have the Fusion X1 with the Xplora app baked in, but the way you get control here is to download an app which you can have on any phone, so it can be both iOS and Android. Essentially, what you can do here is lock the phone down completely, so you get to control screen time, you can control what apps your kids can go on, and you can whitelist and blacklist contacts so you know who is contacting your child. And it will also give you live location that refreshes every 20 seconds, so you know it's always keeping your kids safe. Now, the Fusion X1 is going to set you back $249, and the app itself that controls that phone is going to be €4.90 a month. But even Drew Barrymore showed up at the HMD launch event and gave it her seal of approval. So if it is good enough for Drew Barrymore, then it is good enough for me.
Here at MWC, Nothing launched actually 2 phones, the Nothing 3A and the Nothing 3A Pro, both of which are incredibly cheap and offer telephoto lenses, something that we've never seen on any Nothing phones before. Not only that, but telephoto lenses don't traditionally appear on any Android smartphones in these price brackets. So these 2 phones are incredibly exciting indeed. Outside of the telephoto lenses though, it's pretty much your standard Nothing phone affair with that clear back and of course Nothing OS 3.1 on there. We also have the Essential key, a brand new hardware key on the side of the phone that launches a new AI-based app called Essential Space. This is in beta right now and it's not fully formed, but it could be really cool down the line if Nothing is able to complete it and make it really, really good.
Now, moving over to Samsung and their A series devices, because there are 3 new ones. We have the Galaxy A26 5G, we have the Galaxy A36 5G, and the Galaxy A56 5G, and they all come in at different price points. So the 26 5G is $299, then you go to $399 for the A36, and it's $499 for the A56 5G. These phones are all really similar. They have a 6.7-inch display with 120 Hz, and the battery sizes on these are also pretty impressive. It's 5,000 milliamp hours, and you also get 45-watt fast charging on the A36 5G and the A56 5G. Now, the differences between these three phones, it's not huge. It's just the chip that's powering it and the cameras as well. But if you want to pick up these, you can do. So the A26 5G starts on March 26th. However, if you're looking for the A56 5G, then you're going to have to wait a little bit longer because Samsung have said that this is coming later in the year, which looks like it's going to be Q3.
We've seen a lot of concept devices launch here at MWC, and one of them is from Xiaomi called the Xiaomi Modular Optical System. What this does is you can magnetically attach a lens onto the back of a Xiaomi phone, and then using lasers through a proprietary system called Laser Link, high amounts of data can transmit really quickly to the phone from this lens. So, in other words, you can make your phone into a camera just by magnetically snapping a lens onto the back of it. Now, once again, this is just a concept device, so there is no plans to bring this to retail, but this has been one of the most exciting things we've seen from the entire show. So who knows, this could be something Xiaomi would bring to us sometime down the line.
Now to another concept device at MWC 2025, and this one is coming from Teco, and they're following the trend here of getting slimmer, thinner phones. Now, this is called the Teco Spark Slim, and it really is slim. It's just 5.75 millimeters, and this phone is so thin that they had to even specially engineer that USB-C port to even fit it into the phone. Even though it is quite thin, it still has a 6.7-inch curved AMOLED display, a 5,200 milliamp hour battery, and it has support for up to 45-watt charging. As I said, this is a concept phone, so it kind of means that this won't come to market, or potentially won't come to market, but I love seeing a concept device, and another thin phone is just what we need.
At CES this year, we saw Lenovo launch a rollable laptop, but now we have something a little bit different, a foldable laptop. This is the Lenovo Thinkbook Flip AI PC. What you start off with is a 13.1-inch laptop screen when it's in its normal clamshell state, but you can then unfold the laptop display and it becomes an 18.1-inch vertical display. You can also leave the laptop partially unfolded so you have a screen for you and a screen for somebody sitting in front of you. This makes the laptop incredibly versatile across a bunch of things that you can't do with a normal laptop. As usual though, this is just a concept, but keep in mind that Lenovo has a long history of launching concept devices at shows like this and then eventually launching them as retail products. So who knows, you may be able to buy this next year.
Now, let's move to Xiaomi and the release of the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and this might just be one of the best cameras you can get on any phone. Now, it has a quad camera setup with a 50 megapixel main, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 50 megapixel 3x optical. But where this really stands out is with its 200 megapixel 4.3x periscope lens, and even more impressively, this has 17 times lossless zoom, which means that you can get pretty close to a lot of things. That camera module is huge. However, for the photos it takes, I feel like it's quite a nice compromise. And one thing that I also really like about this phone is the display size. It's 6.73 inches, and in terms of its battery, it's a 5,410 milliamp hour battery, which just keeps you going all day. Now, if you do want to pick up this lovely two-tone design phone, it's going to set you back 1,499 euros, and sadly, this is something that won't be coming to the States. We've seen a lot of virtual reality displays here at MWC 2025, but one that really caught our eye was the Rayneo Air 3S. Now, these work with any device that supports DisplayPort over USB-C, or just any device that has an HDMI out, so things like your Nintendo Switch or Steam Deck. The Rayneo Air 3S is using TCL's latest HuView screen tech, which consists essentially of micro OLED screens with a tandem OLED, and that just means that the user experience here is just really nice. The sound that even comes from these glasses is really good, and Rayneo said that they have a world first here. That's because it has a dual opposing acoustic chamber design. Now, these are 50 nits brighter and 2 grams lighter than the previous generation, and you can pick these up in the next month or so, and actually, as a surprise, these are going to be a bit cheaper than the last generation because they should be retailing for around about $259. And next up is a couple of phones from Infinix, and one of them can even use solar power to charge your phone. This is the aptly named Infinix Solar phone, and we've been testing this out by using a torch and just placing it on the back of the phone. And actually, this is a pretty cool concept. It will just charge from solar. You just get charged from the sun, so wherever you are, you can always start charging your phone. And granted, it's not quick. It takes about an hour to get 10% of your battery back, but it's still quite a cool idea. And next up in the same category here is another cool idea from Infinix. This is the e-color shift 2.0, and what this will do is you can take photos of anything that is around you, and the back of the phone will adapt and change color depending on what you've taken a photo of. Now, this is kind of cool, but it's one of those things that is more of a fun gimmick.
Google is also here at MWC, and it has launched a really cool new feature for Gemini Live. Those of you watching this probably already know that Gemini Live is a way that you can have a natural real-time conversation with Gemini, but now you can actually show Gemini things that you're looking at through your smartphone camera. This is going to be really cool because it's going to enable you to have a conversation with this virtual assistant about what's happening around you, not just what you're describing to it. This is coming to Android phones that support Gemini Live some point in the next few weeks, so get excited for that. And that's a wrap for all the cool things that we've seen at MWC 2025. This has been a very exciting show with a lot of cool new features, but it's time to start looking towards the next shows that we're expecting to come down the line.
But if you haven't had your fill of MWC 2025 action, then you can go to the Android Authority website and you can just read a ton more on there, because we have a load of articles about even more things that we've seen here at the show. But before you head off, why not subscribe to the Android Authority channel? And if you do that, then I will see you in the next video.